church member. I introduce my. This is Eric, the colorist.
Colorist? Great. We have the Eric.
Everybody.
And you're Michael.
I'm Michael.
Okay. Cool. Well, thanks so much for being here. What a trip. Can you tell? I mean, the film has the narration has this kind of sardonic quality to it, but I have a feeling that this really was quite an adventure. Can you tell us a little bit about the experience of shooting it?
I feel this is a movie that should not exist. But we cannot force this movie into existence. It was very hard to make on many different levels, financially and at least of it. So I don't know. I think that's kind of the essence of it. We really kind of made it happen. And it was hard work.
What was? Do you have an anecdote about some of the most difficult experiences and the?
Well, I got some public money, and it was pretty hard to convince the government bodies of soul judo and that kind of stuff. So it was not an easy pitch, and what was it, something?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was about 10 times or 20 times where we decided to call it quits. And I don't know, one or the other of us always kind of convinced us to continue. And at some point we were at a point of no return. And I don't know, 5 years went by, nobody really believed in this film anymore besides us. And we didn't even believe in it. But it took on its own kind of momentum, and I don't know, we always found this little spark to kind of continue, and got another $5 and another $10. So yeah, somehow it ended up here. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad you stuck with it. Can you tell us a little bit about how you originally conceptualized this compared to how it ended up, or how did it change, if at all?
Well, we wanted just to go to Greece and make a film about the crisis. But when we came to Greece, there was no crisis. We couldn't find it. And it's like Krista says, people still live, the pumpkins still grow, it doesn't matter where the money is. So we figured we need to do something different. So we made a film about dreams and visions and all these other things. And that was the genesis of it.
Yeah.
And we were really stoned. Some of us.
Some of you. So what about the whole math and Fibonacci code? Was that something that was embedded from the beginning, or is that something you found along the way?
And it was when there is a scene with the math teacher, and we wanted to talk to him about numbers, and we wanted to ask him about the unreasonable numbers. The numbers they're crazy numbers of our times. We don't have to talk about this, I think. So, but we, instead of asking for unreasonable numbers, we asked for irrational numbers. And we did not know, I knew, but I did not, it was not present in my mind that that's a mathematical terminus technicus. So that he started telling us about the irrational numbers, and that was it. And we decided to roll with it, What can you do?
Yeah. Cool. Well, questions from the audience? Right there.
I'm curious a little bit about your relationship as behind the camera, in front of the camera, how you all work together, I guess, on the day-to-day, and then conceptualizing it. It seems like, David, you're directing a lot kind of from in front of the camera, or... No, I understand.
In the film, yeah.
But it appears so.
Yeah.
Because you're driving so much of the narrative, and we're seeing you filming, and then we're seeing what you're filming. So just a little bit about how you all worked on the day-to-day and conceptualized your relationship together.
Well, first of all, this wasn't planned. So Mickey just asked me at some moment, oh, maybe we should film you, And So we did that a couple times, and then suddenly I was never shot, which as a cameraman, of course, presents kind of a bit of a problem. And I mean, I've been thinking about that a lot because I'm not an actor, but I think, I mean, I did okay. And I think the reason was because, first of all, I paid myself, but I was getting a little like schizophrenic because I would like look at the frame and talk about the shot and talk about the actors, and then like, wait a minute, I'm the actor, so then I go up on the other side of the camera, and then I do my thing, but thinking about the camera and where should it be, am I in focus? And then I go look at the scene and I'm like, oh, this guy's like not doing it right. Oh, that's me. But I'm playing myself. So what the hell is going on here? I was mind bending. I don't know.
He makes it like seem really hard. No, it wasn't like difficult. No, it was not that difficult.
For me, it was.
The problem was that I don't see anything and I couldn't put focus and I don't, you know, there's like real technical issues here.
Sure.
But yeah, so did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
But-
it was
and then-
overwhelming.
One more time, say that again.
It was overwhelming, but I mean, you know, Michael told me kind of what the scene was about, and we had some basic lines, so then we just kind of improvised that.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was my like.
Yeah.
My wondering how much were certain things scripted and blocked out beforehand on your end, Michael.
Yeah, we sketched out some scenes, like the Gypsy King scene, and we did some writing before, and we were like all the three of us because we were only three, and you know, it's like a minimal band, like a really small rock band, and that gave us like so much freedom to do what we wanted. And by the end of the shooting, we were almost like in a trance. Like nobody ever stepped out of his role anymore. You know, Chris, the other guy who played David's second bike, he was unbelievable really, because he had to change. He had so many roles to play, and it was a little bit like a therapy session for extended. It was like something real.
What was your gear that wasn't on camera? So he was shooting with a 16, and then what was the gear that was behind the lens?
We had a
What was the gear that was behind
Yeah,
the
what was
lens
your
is the
gear?
question.
We had a Sony, a 4K camera, a regular video camera, regular video camera.
Yeah, it was a little Sony A7S Mark II DSLR camera, and the Bolex footage, obviously 16mm, and then this gentleman here, who worked for a year with me to give it the look it had, did a lot of magic to it to make it look professional. Maybe you want to take the work your challenges.
I onlined and did some of the VFX as well as the color, and so there was some matching of 16mm and then taking the Sony footage and making it look 16mm. So there was a lot of that, and then I helped the story out by putting in some Fibonacci numbers on the umbrellas. They got changed and stuff. Like trying to wrap it up to carry out some of Michael's vision. So it was great.
I just wanted to say my brother and my sister-in-law, who in the movie play my brother and my sister-in-law, are also here, and they, for some reason that escapes me, invested some money in this film, so I don't know, you should ask them probably why.
And Chris is also here, who played Hera in the
Was there a specific moment where you understood like, oh, this documentary about the economic crisis is not going to work?
I don't know, was there a moment? No, I mean when I was shooting it, when we were shooting it, I was totally entirely convinced that I would make 250 million with this movie. That was the feeling I had. I always know this is the greatest movie anybody has ever made, and it will be like really, really rich. So does that answer the question?
Not at all, but that's a great answer though.
he already touched upon that. Like when we went there the first time, we soon realized it wouldn't be a traditional documentary about the financial crisis because we couldn't find it. And you know, the drugs came in and.
There was not so many drugs. It's not true. It's not. No, there was. So we were shooting this straightforward, and we were taking interviews, and then we found the cup, you know, where she gives him the cup on the thing, and then we had this feeling that our whole civilization has forgotten something that we knew maybe 2,500 years ago, and we knew it again 500 years ago, and now we seem to have all lost it. And then we wanted to make a movie about these philosophical things, you know what I mean? Because like crunching numbers, it doesn't make sense anymore. But that was the important thing.
I think we translated something that we experienced in Greece from very early on. You know, the quote about the magic of the Greek country and the people. We experienced that, and it somehow, you know, made its way into the movie, and it kind of led us the way by the people we met, by what we felt, what we saw, what we. So I mean, I think that was really kind of the core of that feeling of how to live, like how to have time, how to talk to people, you know all those kinds of things that are, you know, the lost art.
More questions? Oh, I'm going to jump in with one. I'm really curious about the liquor that's like LSD and cocaine mixed together.
Yeah.
And where can I get that?
Well, the thing is, it only works in Greece. You have to drink it there. I tried it. I brought always some stuff with me to Austria, but it didn't work there. It's just in this special area. Sorry.
Okay, I'll go to Greece. Who else has a question?
Just like curious for you to talk just a little bit about the editing process. There's so many interweaving elements that form a kind of logic, but as you said, it felt like y'all are in some kind of narrative dream state when you're making this. So how did that come together in the edit for you?
Well, first time when I saw when I started editing in 2018 or 2019, and when I looked at the footage, and I was like, who shot this? What was I thinking? Why? You know what I mean? It was really bad, and then, but you know, then I got into it, and we edited for a long time, and it's a total nightmare because you're so close to everything you're part of the movie. You have no distance to it, so I would never, and I edited it by myself, I would never do this again. It's like, it was insanity. It took us forever. You know what I mean? And then you never know how good the movie is, because you only have yourself and your sympathies to the characters, and you have, this is unbelievably difficult to because we thought like at the beginning of 2020 we already had a movie that is pretty good, and then we showed it to people and they were like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So it's tricky.
And COVID, of course, we couldn't be in the room together. We couldn't never be like, you know, we were all separated continentally, and so it was a bit.
But it was not like really bad. It was like fun, and it was great 5 years, and I wouldn't, you know. We don't want to sound whiny here.
Oh, I had to make a movie.
Yeah, and I spent like 50 weeks in Greece. It had its benefits, it had its upsides, definitely.
Gio?
When did you have the intuition of the car going backwards? That was the funniest thing. I thought actually, in the first time I saw it, I'm like, oh, the car is. They reversed but we're actually going backwards. That was brilliant.
No, we reversed it, but we were going on the other side of the street, so.
Oh.
Well, not always.
Response.
Because
Response.
the one wide shot is where we really wide
Yeah,
shot.
the wide you
The
reverse it.
question is, when did the intuition of having the car going in reverse happen?
You know, in Greece it's really not so far off. I think it would be true that if the reverse gear works, then there's no reason to fix the car, really. That's what we like. That's what we love about Greece. And they have this mode of improvisation, and that's where it came from, I guess. and they're just so lazy and they don't know how to live life, you know, and have time.
And you
it's
don't have to worry
beautiful.
about police really, but
Yeah,
like
there's no
such
police.
minor things as driving backwards on the main highway.
Yeah,
I mean, that's an Austrian perspective.
that's an Austrian perspective.
I'm just saying that.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I guess. Yeah. So, but that will make us famous, of course, not the backwards Jeep that, like, we get that a lot.
So the back?
Yeah. Why beautiful idiots?
What was the question?
Why
Why
beautiful
beautiful
idiots?
Well, you know the answer. You claim it is your title. Why beautiful idiots? Because the people in Greece are really beautiful, and also sometimes idiotic. So that's where it came from.
I thought that we were referring that the filmmakers about
I thought so too.
What?
She thought you were referring to the filmmakers.
Yeah, because they have exactly. They are also very quite beautiful. And yeah.
So can you tell us, like, for you personally, the experience, having gone through this experience, what kind of effect did it have on you, and maybe in your perspective on life, or what kind of personal experience did it have for you?
What kind of personal experience? Well, it's really, for me, the movie, it's really, it freed me in many ways. And it was like, you know, you don't always make movies to make money, but it is a part of your life. It's like a relationship you have for 5 years with this, and it enriched me, and I did, during that phase, during that period, many crazy things, and in a way, the sun was always shining on us. You know what I mean? It was always close. It was always almost over, but never really over. So that it was supremely gratifying.
Yes. Fantastic. Cool. Any more questions? Oh, I'm almost at Andrews. Well, why don't you all tell us what you're going to be doing next?
David and I are making a short fable called The Sandman, based on a script that he had written in film school with some of the other beautiful idiots and some of the people who are here today. And we've already started shooting some things for that.
I just actually in the process of finishing a documentary, kind of dystopian sci-fi documentary about the initial 3 months of lockdown. And Eric, of course, was on it too, doing the color, and hopefully maybe I'll come up here anyway next year, but maybe with the film, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm working on several projects. Among other things, I'm writing the screenplay for Quentin Tarantino's 9.5 movie. So, somebody wants to know what that is going to be about. I'm here for answers.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow. What a break in your career.
What a prank.
And I just wanted to ask, is that the 12-year, the movie that's been being edited for 12 years, is that getting any closer?
It's 17 years now.
17 years.
You know, it was there at the beginning.
Oh,
So
wow,
it's
wow.
you know,
It's
17 years.
actually 20 years.
20 years. Wow. Yeah, we were
But
in
it's
film school 20 years.
it's actually almost finished.
It's very close to a rough cut.
Amazing, amazing. Well, thank you all so much for being here.